Let us discuss the next question in the theme President. This question is from 2018. With reference to the election of President of India, consider the following statements. The value of vote of each MLA varies from state to state. The value of the vote of MPs of the Lok Sabha is more than that of the value of vote of MPs of the Rajya Sabha. This question is related to a similar question which came in 2023 regarding the value of vote of MLAs and the Electoral College of President. Now, how do we calculate a value of vote of somebody in the presidential election? Now, if you recall, in India, the president's election is held in accordance with the system of proportional representation by means of single transferable vote, and the voting happens through the secret ballot. And the value of vote of MLAs from different states differ because it will be based on the population of the state and the number of people who are there in the assemblies of that state. So the value of vote will be based on the population of the states and number of MLAs in the state assembly. The whole thing will be divided by 1000, and that is how we will get the value of a particular state. So we cannot say that the value of votes of MLAs is same. So the value of vote of MLAs differs from state to state. So the first statement which says the value of vote of each MLA varies from state to state. This is correct because it is based on the population and the number of MLAs in each state, and both of this vary, and the value of vote of each MLA from state to state varies. Now the second statement, the value of vote of MPs of Lok Sabha is more than the value of vote of MPs of Rajya Sabha. So here you have to be very careful. Here it is not asking the total value of vote of the MPs of Lok Sabha to the total value of MPs of Rajya Sabha. Here it is asking to a single MP of Lok Sabha compared with the single MP of Rajya Sabha. So it is the value of vote of an individual MP which is getting compared. So is it different? No, it is not. Because how is the value of a vote of an MP calculated? So in the previous calculation, the value of vote of an MLA will be calculated by dividing the total population by the number of members in the state assemblies, that is the number of members of MLAs, and the whole thing will be divided by 1000, and we'll get a value of a particular MLA in that state. Now this value will be multiplied with the number of members in the state assembly, and we'll get the value of total value of the votes of the MLAs of a particular state. So that way we'll calculate the values to all of the states. So we'll get the value of votes of all the MLAs of all the states in India. So now this total amount will be taken for calculation of the value of vote of an MP. So this total value of all the votes of all the MLAs of all the states will be taken, and that will be divided by the total number of elected members of the parliament, that is the elected members from the Lok Sabha and the elected members from the Rajya Sabha. If you recall, only the elected members are there in the Electoral College of President. The nominated members are not eligible to vote for the president's election. So if we divide this, we'll get the value per MP. And this question is saying that the value of MP will be different between Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. No. When we take the amount here, for example, let us take this numerical value. Now this amount here is the total value of all the MLAs of all the states. Now that is divided by the number of elected MPs of the parliament. So we'll get the value of the vote of each MP, and the total value of the votes of the parliament will be value of vote of each MP multiplied by the number of MPs, which will come to something. Now if you look at this comparison, that way the value of vote of each MP will be same, because in the denominator we are considering the parliament as a whole, both the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, for all the elected members together. So the value of vote of a particular individual MP, it will be same between Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. But if you look at the value of votes of the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha as a house, Because the Lok Sabha has more number of people, the 543 will get multiplied by 708 and we'll get 3 lakh change, and this 233 will get multiplied by 708 and we'll get 1 lakh change. So the house of Lok Sabha as a whole in total has more value votes than the house of Rajya Sabha, but the individual MP's value of vote is the same for both the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. So the statement which says the value of vote of MPs of the Lok Sabha is more than the value of vote of MPs of the Rajya Sabha, this is wrong. This is incorrect because the value of both of them was 708 in our numerical example. But have the statement have been the value of votes of all the members of the Lok Sabha or the Lok Sabha as a house is more than that of Rajya Sabha. In that case, the statement would have been correct. Now here, because they are asking about the value of vote of an individual MP, it is same for both the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. So statement 2 is incorrect. Which of the following statements are given above are correct? Only one is correct. So the answer for question number, this question is A. So the answer is A.